Hey everyone, welcome back to Aquatau Technologies TV. Today we're diving into a topic that has reshaped the way we work: remote work in 2023. The landscape has significantly changed since the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm your host, and let's unpack the current state of remote work.
This is how corporate America feels about remote work in 2023.
The laptop class is living in La La Land. It's messed up to assume that yes, they have to go to work, but you don't. It's not just a productivity thing. I think it's morally wrong.
Listen, it doesn't work for young kids. It doesn't work for spontaneity. It doesn't really work for management.
And this is how the corporate world felt about remote work in 2020, during the height of COVID-19.
The biggest advantages, I think, are access to large pools of talent who don't live around the big cities and aren't willing to move there.
Since we've all been forced into being remote now for 9 months, I think we've realized that if you have somebody in a particular location who's willing to work the hours to be able to collaborate, you can do it very effectively. So it's changed how we thought about hiring.
In 2020, the corporate world embraced remote work out of necessity during the pandemic. Fast forward to 2023, and opinions have shifted. Some corporate leaders are not only advocating for a return to the office, but even threatening to fire employees who resist. So, what changed in less than 3 years? As we all adapted to remote work during the pandemic, the initial perception was that it was a temporary solution. However, the conversation about remote work has shifted due to the slowdown in the labor market. Employers who were initially skeptical are now taking the opportunity to bring employees back and address productivity concerns. Before the pandemic, remote work was a rarity, constituting only about 5% of workdays. However, the forced shift during the pandemic revealed surprising benefits, from increased productivity to improved work-life balance. But is remote work sustainable in the long run? While remote work brought undeniable benefits, concerns about productivity have surfaced. Experimental studies suggest potential declines of 10% to 20% in fully remote setups compared to in-person work. However, the real question is whether the cost savings for companies outweigh the productivity impact. As the world opens up, some companies are taking a hard line on returning to the office. Even Zoom, the platform that fueled the remote work boom, is pushing for a return to in-person work. But are employees ready to give up the flexibility and comfort of remote work?
Even Zoom, the company this is, now throwing in the towel on fully remote work. The company that cashed in on the digital work revolution is now requiring most employees to work in person, at least 2 days a week. It's an abrupt shift from last year, when it suggested a majority of its employees would work a hybrid schedule, with just 2% working in person full time.
We hear stories of employees like Sujin Parajuli, who decided to leave a job that required a return to office. Many individuals are now facing the challenge of finding fully remote positions as job postings for such roles decline, creating a more competitive landscape. The shift to remote work has not only transformed how we work, but also raised concerns about the future of commercial real estate. Reports suggest a potential $800 billion loss in the value of office real estate in major cities worldwide. What does this mean for the future of office spaces?
Yeah, that's right. But the problem does start with the office demand, right? And we've seen with the advent of remote work and hybrid work a dramatic reduction in office demand over these past 3 years that has led to rising vacancy rates and, in fact, to all-time high vacancy rates in the office market right now. And that does put downward pressure on the valuations of these offices. You mentioned that they're down, probably 20, 30% already. They're likely to fall by more. And that causes downward pressure on property tax revenues, because for a lot of cities, office tax revenues is a big chunk of their tax revenues, often as much as 50%. Some of that is coming from office, maybe 20%. So maybe 10% of overall tax revenues for cities comes from office. If those offices lose about half of their value, tax revenues fall, and that creates a huge hole in the budget.
As companies navigate the return to the office, one thing is clear. The traditional 5-day, 40-hour work week may be a thing of the past. The benefits of in-person collaboration are acknowledged, leading to a hybrid approach where employees come to the office for specific days. Remote work is not disappearing, it's evolving. In conclusion, the landscape of remote work is undergoing a transformation. Whether you're a supporter of the flexibility of remote work or believe in the power of in-person collaboration, the future is likely a blend of both. If you're concerned about remote work, the key is to adapt, as it seems like this work revolution is here to stay. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the current state of remote work. If you find this video insightful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. We'll catch you in the next video. Until then, take care.